Good morning everybody, back to work properly this time. I've got a roof scrape today using that hire van as mentioned. I've got a nice Volkswagen Transporter 21 plate to use for a bit, which is nice. Doing a nice roof scrape today and Biocide on this house here. There's quite a tricky part around the front which I'm going to tackle. There's no roof rack on the van, so no ladders. The hard bit around the side kind of needs ladders, but I'll figure it out. Let me show you my setup for today for my roof scraping. It's been a while since I showed one on the channel, I think, hasn't it? So GVS Pro 30 pole, super lightweight, super rigid, and then these are flat tiles, so I've got a nice long flat blade on the top. Let me show you how to set this up. Alright, can you all see that? Sorry, it might be a bit slanted on your screen, guys, but so what I've got, let me show you this. I've been through this before, but people ask me a lot. So this one here, if I can do it, oh god, it's tight, hang on. Oh no, forget about it, I'm not going to bother trying. This is a pole insert, so this is what goes into the bottom of the pole, obviously. Now attached to this is a one angle adapter with another pole insert there attached to it. No, sorry, Euro thread attached to it. Again, I've done these up really tight so they don't move. Basically what I'll do with this is I can angle this sideways, so like so. I can sort of go like that with it. So say if you're scraping straight on, you can get sort of a bit more of an angle to it. So let me put that back straight for a minute. Now on the top one, I've got this one, which is basically another Euro thread which attaches to the main scraper itself. And then, god damn, that's tight as well. Jesus. Oh, so I click that, and now I can move the blade up and down. So if you're at sort of a steep pitch or a shallow pitch, you can adjust the angle of the blade like so as well. So a lot of people don't do this, but this is the way I've always done it. I like to have two adapters on it. I just find it makes my life a hell of a lot easier. I'll try and do this up without breaking it. There we are. So I can have it sideways and I can have it up and down. I just find that easier. So for this roof particularly, because it's flat tiles, I'm probably going to be something like this, scraping sideways on the roof. I'll be able to show you a bit easier when I'm up there, but this means I can get the bottom edge of the tile and scrape the sort of tile that I'm on at the same time as well. So I'll show you what I mean. Okay guys, this is the roof in question. Loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of moss on this. Now let me show you why I do it like this. Just try and give you, oh sorry, I'm not the best at explaining things sometimes, right? So now, these are the tiles right in front of me. So now you imagine you're at the top. If this was just a straight angle, the blade would be more like this on the roof. That's how the blade would be on the roof. So all you can really do is scrape down like that and try and get this moss off. But you're going to be struggling to get this top edge, this edge of the tile here. It's going to be a bit of a task to get it. However, if you angle the blade like this, let me change positions again. Now, I'd probably angle that blade upwards a bit because it's a bit down, but now all of a sudden you can scrape nearly the entirety of this tile sideways and clear that top edge of the tile. You see that? I mean, I'm doing this with one hand and it's still coming off. Backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. So there we are. I mean, that was one-handed. Let me wipe this off as well. Can never forget about that bottom edge. So that was one-handed, and I've just done 1, 2, nearly 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 9 or 10 tiles within the space of a few seconds with my one hand. So this is when people ask, how do you scrape roofs so quick? Why do you prefer scraping sometimes speed-wise to pressure washing them? Because I'll be able to cover this side of this roof within probably an hour, if that, to be honest. Maybe 30 minutes. This side of the roof anyway will be done scraping, and then it's just the chemical to put on. So once you get good at it and you perfect your technique, and it's all about the tools you're using. If you use the tools correctly, because I tell Kev all the time, I was like, no, you're not using it right. You change the angles of it and you'll be making your life a lot easier. It takes 5 seconds just to switch that angle. So if there's a bit of a stretch and you're like, oh, it's not really catching the tile properly, just take the pole down, change the angle, That's why I have 2 angles on it, because it just makes the tool a lot more versatile, and then you can sort of cover large portions of a roof really quickly and from one standing position as well. So hope that helps. I do love scraping. It was my baby. It's my that's how I first started to make good money in my business, and I've done a lot of scraping roofs, so don't expect to be really quick straight away. It does take a long time to build up the endurance for it, as mentioned before, but once you get used to it, it's easy work. So let's crack on. So then, as you can see, this is probably going to be my starting angle for the top of the roof. I'm going to work my way over this way. One more tip as well to reduce flex in the pole: don't extend the sections all the way out. I usually do them about 3/4 of the way, and that's me pushing down on the pole. That's really rigid. So I've just noticed my angle wasn't really sharp enough there, so instead of me wasting loads of time and being lazy, I'll just adjust the angle a little bit more, which will speed me up over the course of the day. Make that a tiny little bit sharper, just about 10 degrees or so, and there we go. That should be perfect now. And for my next tip of the day, the pole's getting a bit cumbersome then towards the bottom, so I've just taken literally half the pole off, keep it safe in the guttering. And there we are. Now I've got an even lighter pole to work with. And then this is what I do as well. So you see me scraping sideways like this, so I do a bit of pushing that way, and then pull. You really want to be pushing the pole up against that top edge of the tile. You want to sort of lock it in there. You don't need to press hard, but you just make sure it's locked in there, so it's taking that edge off. Now it's going to get to a point where it's going to stop hitting it as well, because you're coming at sort of a awkward angle again. So then what I'll do is I'll sort of roughly brush along it like this. Now I don't know if you can see, I'll try and zoom in, there's still a little bit left. So, and the pole is kind of straight now, so what I'll do on the way back, I'll push the pole up quite hard against the bottom of the tile, and that will sort of, you'll see what I mean, like this. And there you go, that's perfect. Okie dokie, we're onto the front side now. A little bit awkward here, but nowhere near as awkward as what the other side of this is going to be. This is actually kind of alright, to be honest with you. Probably 20 feet up to the top, maybe a little bit more. Nah, 20 feet I'd say. So yeah, Kev's already scraped the bottom on here, so I'll probably just leaf blow that off once all this crap has gone down there. No worries about tarp, just got tarmac on there, so but put the tarp on the grass just in case any flies off and lands, because it's a pain to clean up on the grass, and there's stones and stuff down there, so we'll put some tarp down there as well. So I'll set you up and then we'll blitz this. These are going to be the most awkward parts that you'll get on a roof, these valleys. So when you're doing a roof that has got valleys, remember to sort of charge extra for that, because it's not as straightforward as just like a, you know, front and the back side of a roof. It's kind of like a roof and a half when you've got valleys like this, because you've got kind of like the span of the roof and these, and scraping sort of sideways like that is a lot more taxing on the body. So yeah, just a tip for everyone there. Roof with valleys, charge a little bit extra for it because it will hurt just a bit. Let's go. I'll probably just time lapse the rest of this now. Okay then guys, so that's nearly all scraped. As you can see, the issue of the job is that valley. Now my first thought for this was like, right, I'm going to wire brush that. So I'll whack a wire brush on the end of this. But I've just thought, if I can try and get that angle of this scraper, I may be able to just pull it down. I like these roof scraping jobs, it's just all about problem solving. It's about how am I going to get to that bit with the least amount of effort. So I'm just trying to match up that angle now. I think if I go about like that, I may be able to just slot in and do straight pulls down. It'll feel a bit awkward on the body for a minute, but we shall see. Right, let's give it a shot. That actually worked out perfectly. Now if you're wondering why I started at the bottom on this side, my arms were just a little bit tired, that's all. So sometimes I find it easier if you start getting a little bit tired to just work up the roof, because then you're only dealing with the moss on that tile, not all the moss that has come down, you know what I mean? To say when you sort of get halfway down the roof, you're dealing with like, I don't know, about 30 tiles worth of moss. So yeah, I work up sometimes and then just quickly brush it all down afterwards, but yeah, that's fine now. It doesn't take much effort at all. I'm just going to try and figure out the angle for this bit now, which I think will be something like that. Alright then, cool, so there we are, that's pretty much all done. I just need to clear these gutters out. Unfortunately we don't have a roof rack on the van, I don't know if I mentioned that. the higher van does not have. So we've got no ladders, so I'm gonna have to do, yeah, I'm gonna have to figure this one out. I'm not gonna show this one on film, sorry guys. Right, and then after that, set up around there for the hard bit. Okay then guys, so we're on the last bit now. It looks like that's not possible, but it is. I'm going to show you Kev putting the Biocide on now while I get up there and do that. I'll show you what we're using as always for our Biocide as well. All good, Kev? Yeah.
Yeah, we're set to go. He's just bringing a drink outside, so.
Oh, okay, all right then. Right then, so this is what I'm using. This is the Dose Steamer from GK Pro. Now at the moment they're bringing out a version 2 of this, so I don't think you can buy this one anymore. But within the next couple of weeks, hopefully, there'll be a version 2, and I should be test running that, I think. So I'll make sure I do a good video and tell you all the new features of it. But basically, what this essentially is, it's a dosing system. So water runs through from the main house tap, runs into this dosatron here, which pulls chemical out of that tank. So that pulls the Biocide out of that tank and then out of this hose, which then goes into my reel. Now this gives it the perfect 25:1 ratio that I need. So there's literally no worries about any streaks, or if you batch mixing in a backpack or a tank and things like that, if it starts running a bit low, or if there's too much water to chemical in there, you can get patches where it's kind of missed and it doesn't clean it. So no worries with that. It has been perfect for me every single time. I've got a little tap set up there so I can turn it on and off when I need to. And then this is the benefit of having a 40-foot pole, guys. Because you can do it from the ground. So instead of me having 2 scaffolding towers set up on the job, so I can literally just crack on all day with the scraping, and then as soon as I'm nearly finishing, Kev can literally just stand on the ground and then Biocide the entire roof. The reason I started around the back was because he will need the scaffolding around the other side on a couple of sections just to reach everything properly. So where I end, that's where he'll come round, climb up the tower, start Biociding that side of the roof, and then while I'm packing the scaffolding away, he can be on the ground Biociding the rest of the front. So it's all just little things like that that just maximise the efficiency on a job. So that's the way my brain works. I like to think, right, how can I do things the most efficiently, the quickest, and the most effectively? So that's the way I like to work. And here's the Biocide we use as well. So there's the GK Pro Biocide. Highly recommend. I've been using it now for, gosh, it's got to be a year now, I think. At least 12 months I've been using it. Literally zero complaints. I've not had a single roof in the last 12 months where someone's called me up and said, oh, hi Sid, it's growing back, can you come and do it? GK Pro has been absolutely flawless. So there's the after shot of where I've scraped from the front as well. Now, I'm not paid or anything to talk about that product like that. I don't get any royalties if they make any sales. I just believe in it, so I'm happy to promote it, and that company, they've helped me out a few times as well when I've needed it. Guys, so Kev's up there getting the Biocide on the last part of the roof. I don't know if you see, I'll try and zoom in. You can see the sort of colour, it starts to go like a nice gold colour. You know, that just means it's getting to work nicely, so it's killing off everything on that roof. So he won't be long now, probably another half an hour and we're all done. Look at the size of this van. I think I might need one, guys. Look at all this room. Yeah, nice. But yeah, apart from that, all we do then is obviously just a bit of tidying up, clean off the tarps, get all that sorted. Yeah, some really nice upgrades. So leaf blower, amazing shape, so thank you John for that. That is a legendary purchase. Tarps as well, you never go wrong with the tarp, absolute time saver. So yeah, that's one of the main things. Then the house is like spotless, so usually what we'll do is I'll have Kev cleaning the gutter in and stuff while I'm focusing on a bit. As soon as I'm finished the scraping, the Biocide goes on the roof, and that's that. So yeah, happy days. All in all, we started at, time is 2:14. We started, I think we got here at 9:30, probably actually started, was probably actually getting to work on the roof about 10. So 11, 12, 1, 2, so just over 4 hours. Well, let's call it 5 hours with cleaning up and packing away as well, to do a roof of that size. So not going to tell you how much I charge for roofs like this, but this was above my minimum charge, and a lot of you guys know my minimum charge. It's important to set them things because this roof could have very easily gone the other way. It could have been really stuck on moss, really stubborn. The valleys could have been a lot worse than they were. There could have been, if they didn't have that plastic strip in the middle, there could have been like mortar and stuff pouring out of them. Luckily the guttering was really easy to get your hand into and clear out as well. That can sometimes be a big issue. Sometimes a gutter clear can end up taking an hour and a half, 2 hours off the day because you can't get, because the gap's so small, you can't get your hand in there. This was one of them houses, flat tiles, great guttering, valleys were fine, access was okay. Would have been done a lot quicker without them valleys, but it was fine. So yeah, that's how easily, if you set up a business and you've got 2 of you, I would have done this myself. If I was on my own, I would have done this myself in a day, but it would have been a long day. I probably would have been here from about 8 o'clock in the morning till 5, 6 o'clock on the night maybe, so it would have been a long day. But then I guess you save on cost, but I wouldn't recommend doing roofs on your own. I did roofs on my own for too long, way too long, so I'd recommend always getting help. It just makes the day flow a little bit easier and stuff, and there's always something to do. I don't like standing around, there's always something to do. So whether it's cleaning up, even if you know more moss is going to fall off the roof, just have the guy cleaning up anyway. Have the guys setting something up, teach them how to set the Biocide system up, the dosatron up, teach them how to use a water pole. If you're just there scraping and he's thinking, oh, I've got nothing to do, I'll stand around. No, there's always something. So you can clean the gutter in, you can just do whatever you can, move the scaffolding, move pots out the way, just get the job ready, you know, so you can do it efficiently. So that's the way I like to work, scraping roofs. Steam cleaning roofs, I'm still getting to terms with it, so I haven't perfected the formula yet, which is why I won't do a video like this until I have. So once I think I've perfected the perfect way to steam clean a roof efficiently, and you know, make the maximise the time of the day without really overexerting yourself, I will do a video like that. Pressure washing every job is really different with that, so it's going to be hard for me to do. But I'll be able to do that video when I've got like a big system in a van. Then I'll be able to say easy peasy, do this, do this, do this. But yeah, hope you've enjoyed. So we'll just finish up there now. Don't forget the bottom part. I've forgotten that before on a job. I forgot to do the bottom part. There was a porch roof and I forgot to do it, and I was like, I had to go back because I'm sure I was asleep and it woke me up out of a dream. I was like, did I clean that porch roof? No, I didn't. So I had to go back and do it. But yeah, all right guys, nice one. I'll pack up. See you later.